different. You go to hockey games to get excited. Two goals with the goalie pulled, and the Bruins, showing hearts of lions, have tied at 3-3.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, after a little hiatus, we are back. Episode 27 of the Same Seats podcast. Brought to you by Chip Seeds right now, but boy, we got something cooking for you all. Too early to tell, but we'll have a nice little announcement here coming in a few weeks. But B-Cam, how you doing? As you can notice, we're a man down right now. Mike is on his honeymoon, so a few clicks to the Doyles. But Uncle Brian, what's the word?
Just came down with a gnarly virus. I was telling you a little bit about it, but knocked the wind out of me for 48 hours. Was grabbing like Hall of Fame numbers in bed. 16 hours of sleep on Tuesday night. And I did find a tick on me while golfing last Saturday. And I did have some scary like rabbit hole thoughts. Like, are we looking at some Lyme disease? Do we have the Lyme? And but you know what? For whatever reason, had a coconut water this morning and feeling immensely better. So we're back.
Set you straight. That was the tick crawling on you, or was it latched?
Oh, it was latched but not ballooned.
So we were going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. So this was Saturday night. I had Lyme disease when I was young, and I still remember the kickback on those, and holy cow, was not doing that at 31.
So I thought once you have Lyme, so my sister had Lyme. I thought once you get it, you have it for life. Is that a thing?
Oh, it's not like being an alcoholic where you're always an alcoholic, but
gotcha.
But it's more so like if you catch it in enough time, it doesn't last for life. But it's also like body dependent too. So like there's famous actresses and actors that I think like Katy Perry has lifelong Lyme disease, but then there's some people that
you and
don't.
Katy Perry 1-1.
Yeah, but except I guess I
dodged a bullet.
I just got to a little bit quicker. But yeah, it was pretty brutal.
Brutal. Well, hey, you know what? Hopefully you don't get it round 2, and stay out of the woods.
Well,
keep the ball out of the woods. Keep the ball in the woods.
I know it's hard when you're slicing the ball. It's really hard.
Keep the ball in the woods. Well, yeah. I don't golf, but I hear you. You could be like Mike, who is living the African Vita Loca right now, where who knows, they might come back with one of the above.
They just casually post pictures, and it's just like, oh, that's a baby hippopotamus, and that's doing a little bit of a swim, and then they're like, oh, we're actually going to zip line from one, is it country to country? Like, is that what? Yeah, just
crazy. And let's go on a helicopter ride. Business is good in the Doyle household, and you know what? They deserve it. They know how to travel. No one knows how to travel better than the two of them. And I'm sure he's just itching to get back to talk about all things.
What's their secret? Do they have a travel agent or something?
Yeah, Bailey. She's she's as good as a travel agent could be.
Really?
Like, yeah, we've gone to Rex for her for years, and Mr. Doyle had a great speech, and so did Bailey's dad. Night before and then during the wedding, and they both made reference to her ability to plan trips and do it well. So she just is so dialed in.
I gotta know her secret.
Yeah, same here. And they do it for like very reasonable too. Like they do a lot of great stuff. They go to a lot of great places without really breaking the bank, you know? So
good for them. Why don't
maybe we have a segment we get Bale on, and we have folks call in.
That would actually be a hell of a segment.
They're looking to go to ABC country and they want to do XYZ. Here you go. Here's the itinerary.
We would have to get confirmation that she's okay with doing that. But if
yes, of course.
If so, that would be a hell of a segment.
Of course. But yeah, so you dodge Lyme, they dodge any virus ever in Africa, and we dodge baby virus, and we're good. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about, or kind of a lot. what we're gonna do here going forward is we'll sync before after round, debrief, and then talk a little Bruins, like prospects, what have you. BCam, great work on the socials. Been just hammering Instagram and everything. But before we jump in, I want to get your thoughts on kind of if you're watching the games, what you think, kind of what your predictions are for this round here.
Yeah, I mean, I was pumped to see Montreal come over Buffalo. I know I've mentioned that to a few people, and they said that sounds like a sin because a Boston fan rooting for a Montreal team, but it's hard to have the rivalry still live on when we haven't seen them in over a decade. And I mean, that would have been while we were like 8-10 years old. So it's just not as prevalent. But I was pumped to see Montreal come out of there, although I did think Buffalo outplayed them the last couple of games. And now we're back-to-back series of Tampa beating the crap out of the Montreal, but not winning. And now Buffalo arguably beating the crap out of Montreal and not winning. So they might have Team of Destiny written all over them. Quick, fast. They play a great game. And that rookie in net, Dobis, however you pronounce it, he's great. He's great. So that's like the Eastern Conference one that I think it's going to be a hard beat on Carolina. Truthfully, but that's mostly the games that I've watched. I haven't really caught a ton of the Western Conference games. They're just so late, so I'm just a box score reader for those.
Yeah, I hear you. It's hard to watch those games.
Yeah.
One last night starting at 8. We're recording here. We probably should have started with this on Thursday, the 21st. So the series have started. The Eastern Conference is going to start tonight. But the 8 o'clock start was awesome.
Yeah.
Granted, you fall asleep halfway through. Whatever. Call a spade a spade. 8 o'clock start was great. I don't know. I to your point, right? It feels sacrilegious to wave the Canadian flag, but man, they're fun to watch. Like
So fun to watch.
The Dobish kid is great between the pipes. Like, I don't know. Like, you watch Lane Hudson, it's like this kid is something else. He's on a completely different planet. And they had Knuckles Nyland on Chicklets, and everyone. I thought the same thing. Like, this kid's gonna get blown up. He's not gonna stand a chance. Well, he just went through Buffalo and Tampa in the first round, and he is still breathing.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, it's unbelievable to watch his game. They're fun, but I don't know, does Carolina, them having like almost a month off, do anything for them? Not sure, but I don't know. The last time the Canadians had like a rookie go down the stretch, it was Patty Wan. They won the Cup, and Ken Dryden before that. So
what a stat that is.
Yeah. So do you go against the Canadians in hockey karma, or do you take the Hurricanes? I think it's the Hurricanes year. I think they're built very similar to Montreal in a sense. But I think the Canes take care of the Canadians this series in 6. That's my prediction.
I think that's a good prediction. I agree with you. They're just so fun to watch, man. The kid Demidov's an issue. And I always think about this, and I know a lot of people won't also agree with this, but like they're doing this without a guy that they were like pretty much trying to not build their team around, but he was a big piece of it, and that's Patrick Laine. I mean, the guy, I think he played, how many games did he play this year? He played 5 games this year. He had 44 goals in 1 year. He's got a ton of goals, a ton of points throughout his career.
He's got one of the best shots in the league.
Yeah, like he has 224 goals in 537 games. Like he's a goal scorer, and they're doing this without him. And I mean, maybe they move on from him after this season. Who knows? But they're a fun team to watch, and I don't disagree with you. I think Carolina's a wagon. I hate Carolina out of all of these teams the most by far.
Yeah, they've always given the Bruins fits.
Yeah, like either of the West Coast teams, either of them win, totally fine with it. Carolina wins, I'm not happy about it whatsoever.
No. And as a Bruins fan though, like seeing the Canadians be this good, it's like we are in one and we need to do something because they've gone through peril, right? The last handful of years. But they've rebuilt through the draft, through good trades, through like good work in the front office and development side of things. So yeah, I don't know. They've been fun to watch. Like you hate to say it, it kind of pains you to say it, but it's been pretty cool to kind of see what's going on.
Yeah.
There.
And like Buffalo's in an interesting spot now. They have just a hair under 13 million in cap space, and they have to re-sign Tuck, who had a abysmal second round.
He did, but he's still worth the money.
Oh, without a doubt. I think anybody
he probably has like a broken leg or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that news came out, but 0 points in 7 games and a -9 certainly doesn't help the ticker with what number you're looking for on the open market. But at the same time, the open market
out there.
The open market stinks. So but I don't see him. I heard a report the other day that and this was Merle's talking about it, and I understood it, but he was saying that he's from upstate New York, Tuck is, and he had this big thing where he wants to raise his kids around. Isla agrees. He wants to have his kids spend their time with like the right people, and I think that he really loves upstate New York. My thing is he going to take $8 million with Buffalo, so 64 over 8, or is he going to take that $11.5-12 million ticket from like a Seattle, who can pay him that amount? Because that's a lot of money at the end of the day.
Well, and the Bees have the money for it too, which is crazy. And he'd be great in the black and gold, not the blue and gold, the black and gold.
Yes.
But yeah, like what do you do, right? Like he's going to command a lot of money, but like, does he take the hometown discount? Because now look at them, they're a good team finally, right? Like he's like coming over in that Eichel trade, or like he's had to shovel some crap the past handful of years before they kind of turned it on. So like, hey, like let's see this thing through. I don't know, it's a good point, but like he's going to have people by the nuts in free agency.
Oh, without a doubt. And like, so I'm looking at it right now. Like they have a lot of guys that they have to sign. Like, I mean, if they want to hang on to Logan Stanley or Shen, which I'm thinking they don't, because they didn't play the last couple of games of the series.
No, Shen will play on his 17th NHL team next season.
Yeah, see you later. And then like everything could hit the fan for them if they don't do this the right way. Because let's say they grab Tuck. Let's say they spend, I don't know, $10 million on Tuck. Or let's say they put $9 million on Tuck. They still have Zach Benson as an RFA. We saw it last year with the St. Louis Blues and the Oilers, or 2 years ago with the offer sheets. Some team,
and he's been the best player. He was the best player for them.
I know. And he has some leverage when it comes to negotiations now, where I think he could drive that price up a little bit. And there's a guy on the fourth line too, that kid McIntyre. I think his name's I forget what his first name is.
Yep.
Beck Malenstein. Completely wrong on my part. He is also a UFA this year as well. I don't think they're going to be able to afford all these guys. And I think if you pinpointed any of the issue that Buffalo had this series, I think you could pin a lot of it on the goaltending. And they're not improving their goaltending.
No, and the Levi kid was supposed to be like the next coming of Christ. And obviously that hasn't panned out. So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
They didn't give him a shake, though. Like, I looked at his AHL stats, and pretty good.
Well, they gave him a shake with a crappy team in front of him, right?
Exactly.
Like, if you're a goalie, you're a good goalie on a bad team, your numbers are going to look terrible, right? Like, you need help. It's the NHL. This isn't like college hockey or like high school hockey where you're a good goalie and like the team is okay in front of you and you can steal a bunch of games. Like, these are the best players in the world we're talking about here.
100%.
You know? So, I don't know, something interesting to keep track there of Buffalo and how that goes. But switching over to the West, last night's game was fun to watch, man. Like, there's a lot of firepower out there. And Colorado is a different team without Makar, but they're completely loaded, and there's no way they don't win that series. Like, it'll probably go the distance. I know they're down 1-0. but there's no way they don't win that series. They are just way too low. Like the talent is just through the roof. They're so deep.
If their goaltending doesn't step up, I think that's where they're going to get into a little bit of an issue. And even if Makar comes back, what kind of player are you getting? Like, I just don't know. And listen, shout out this guy, Jack Achan, played for Providence a little bit.
Former Bruin.
Yeah, he's a little water bug out there, but I mean, subbing Achan for Makar, no shot at him. We're talking like.
No, you're talking like superstar Hall of Famer to a 5th, 6th D.
Yeah, just
tweetering top D in the AHL type of situation here.
It's not great. It's not great. And everything, their power play changes, their ice time changes on the DN. Like, everything is messed up. And now Devon Taves is maybe stepped up into like a little bit of an offensive role where that's not his jam. And
no,
things just kind of hit.
Clearly not his jam. He was on the goal line at the Olympics to ice the game, and you had the case of the I can't finish, and then the save heard around the world that people have framed above their beds.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But yeah, I think you're right. I would love to see Vegas win this series. I'd love to make, especially if Carolina is going to do it, I would love to make Carolina travel to Vegas a couple of times too. Like, really get there. And then, I mean, I don't know. I think we're truly looking at 4 teams that could win the cup, which is fun.
Which is great. And that's what you want at this stage, right? Like, you don't want a cakewalk, even though like the Pacific was a joke of a division. Like, those series were good. Like, the Ducks were a good team. Like, they figured it out, So, I don't know. It'll be fun to watch, but I think that one's going the distance. Colorado. It'd be really cool to see Carolina, Colorado. Like, some fast teams. It'll be good. So,
yeah. And I don't think that the time off that Carolina has before they kick off with Montreal tonight, I think it definitely helped in terms of getting guys a little bit healthier and whatnot. But that's a lot of days off from playoff hockey. Like, you're going to jump out on the ice, and I know that Rob the Bod is not going to have them have any easy practices over that time frame. Like, they're definitely
so different, though.
It's so different. It's just like that's something to keep an eye on. Like, I think this is that historically the longest time a team's had off in between series. So
99% it is. Sure it is.
Yeah. So it's kind of uncharted territories for NHL guys, for fans, for owners, for everybody involved. So I think everyone's kind of sitting back and waiting to see how they come out this first game, and I guess the first 2 games.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. I mean, we're in the home stretch. My whole thing now is they should be like this round at this time of the year should be the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
We don't need to be watching. We love the game. We don't need to be watching hockey like midway through June.
No.
No. We don't. Shorten the season or start a little earlier or something. I don't know, but
no, it's honestly, it's the greediness of all of these professional leagues. It's like the NFL. The NFL has made a spectacle out of every single event that they host. Like,
yeah, the NFL goes to Europe 15 times a year now. Like, what are we doing? Bless you.
This pollen is crazy.
Jeez, I almost fell off my chair.
But like the NFL, like the schedule release, it's like this massive thing. And then it's the NFL draft, and it's like a 5-day event, and each pick takes 45 minutes. It's like, holy cow. There's got to be other things in this life to enjoy. Just like, give us the information. We're already paying for the tickets and the gear and all this other stuff. Just like, give it to us.
Hold it hostage,
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's just my biggest gripe this time of year. It's like, can we just get to the Stanley Cup final?
This is baseball season. This is baseball and golf season. Like, this is when the majors are kicking in. This is when like baseball's getting somewhat interesting, but everyone's trying to enjoy their downtime and not. No, I mean, no wives want the TV on every single night watching hockey. It's like, because then we hold no cards when it rolls around to October.
We only get so many chips these days, boys and girls. Come on.
I know.
Come
And
on.
looking at Buffalo's cap space, it's 12.9 heading into this next year. So I mean,
that's dicey.
You give Tuck, let's say $9 million. I think that's more than fair. You got 3 to throw at Benson. Is he going to say no to that? someone comes in with
Benson, I'd say no. Someone's going to come in and they'd probably offer that kid 5 or 6, depending on where the
without
cap's
a
going.
doubt, without a doubt, that's
You
where they
know?
get into trouble.
Big time. But I mean, that's a pretty good segue in terms of cap and what's going on here with the bees, right? Like we're looking at the draft and we're thinking about things. You've been doing a ton of homework on prospects and what have you. Like people have been throwing some crazy trade stuff out there in terms of packages and who they want to come back. Like, what are you thinking in terms of kind of as we're leading up to the draft, what you're seeing, what you're hearing? Because you've been buzzing with all this.
Yeah, the draft is very interesting. It from what I've read, it's a heavy draft, but it's a heavy draft up front. So the fact that if you go through 6, 7, 8 different NHL draft projections, the fact that number 23 with a Bruins slate, there's like 8 different names there, and maybe you can move up here, or maybe this guy drops to you. That doesn't give me a ton of confidence in this pick whatsoever. I think we're looking at kind of a crapshoot. There's a couple of names that they keep floating around. That JP Hurlbet, and then there's another guy, Mathis. I want to make sure I pronounce his last name correctly. Mathis Preston. They both look really good, both offensive guys. They're not NHL ready. So then what? You bring them down into Providence, and we already have question marks over the developmental side of Providence to begin with. And I'm hearing some scuttle that people don't really like the AHL coach down there and what he's done for them. So it's kind of like, and let me pull it back here for one more second. I'm looking at these. Some guy posted out the 2022, 2023, and 2024 draft for the Bruins. They're brutal. They are brutal. And I just think that we need to pair that 23rd pick with another prospect or another player or whatever in order to get there. And I think that's more than fair.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think like looking at that, it was seeing the history over the past few years. Had a transition to the standing desk here. Bad radio. Having to transition to the standing desk, I've had a thought that looking back at the draft, it's abysmal.
Yeah.
And we defended Don, and we went to bat, and we talked about his deadline deals. But I don't know, maybe like this opens up the can of worms to Langenbrunner leaving, right? You get a new assistant GM in. Some of the names popping up. You got McQuaid and these guys, right? Like, do we venture back out and bring in a fresh perspective and a new face? You know, but I saw this kid. Like, I also noticed it's very heavy up at the top.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of D. There's this D from Slovakia. His name's been thrown around to kind of fall. But like, I don't know. If I'm in the camp, trade the pick. Right now, I'm in the camp, trade the pick. And some of these other deals that you're seeing out there, a lot of Lori, a lot of middle stat involved. It's like, I don't know, you kind of said it best, right? Like, you look at the history and you're like,
yeah,
what do you do?
It's not great. It's the history just and listen, like I think you can pin a lot of the blame on Don, but I also think too, at some point you have to look at who you have on your draft.
Scouting.
Yeah, it's just not great. And like I even saw there's a guy there's a kid that's going to BC from NTDP. His name's Casey Mustrin, I think his name is, and he's from Norwell, which is great. And he's coming from NTDP, and that's awesome. But
Bees will probably take him.
Yeah, that was the projection I was looking at latest, and I just feel like we just stay so hyper local to the Bruins. And I mean, how many guys can we have on BC? They can't all be good. You know what I mean? So,
well, I mean, look what happened. Gasso, Yelvik, like they're going different places. Mark Cussy had a good one the other day about one of the draft classes, and I think like the Gallagher kid on Providence who went to BU is like the last one standing from that draft class or something. Like it's him and like one other guy. Like, what are we doing here,
dude? I'm gonna post these screenshots on our socials after this. But 2018, The best person that came out of that draft was Jacob Lyko, and we grabbed him in the third round, 77th overall. In the 2019 draft, the best person to come out of that draft was John Beecher, who we drafted in the first round. 2021.
He didn't pan out for a little while.
No, he didn't. And then the best person in the 2021 draft, I guess you would put it as Fabian Lysell, and he's played maybe 4 NHL games in his career. And then the 2020 NHL draft, the best person we had coming out of there was Lowry. So, I mean, and that was a second round pick. And that's a win in my book. But outside of that, all the other ones are putrid.
Yeah, I know. It's something needs to change, right? What that is, not entirely sure, but I don't know, like, again, like some of these trades, like it'd be great to see Kyrou in a package, and like offer sheets have to happen, but something needs to give.
Yeah. And I saw a couple of names rumbling from Anaheim, McTavish and
Zellweger.
Yeah, so Zellweger would be interesting. Left shot D-man, which we don't necessarily need. I'm more in the camp of trading for Simone Nemec out of New Jersey if the package made sense, because he's that right shot defenseman that can play offensively.
At this point, you give your firstborn. I think Garden Level Podcast tweeted that out. What do you give up? I was like, you give the firstborn. You also give literally anything else you can, like any other pick.
100%.
For like the foreseeable future. Like we need a guy like that. Him in the Olympics, I don't watch a lot of Devils games, but him in the Olympics was just a different level of hockey.
Yeah, and like maybe he just needs a scenery change. That's all.
Totally. And I think like that's a guy you go after. I'm not sure if he's playing in Worlds right now. I've only been following the Bruins players.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, like we'll have to see.
Yeah, and listen, if Simone Nemec costs the 23rd overall pick and like I don't know, like just throw in another prospect, then totally fine with it. As long as it's not in like Dean Pott or any of those guys, like I'm fine with that. But
yeah, I think you'd have to send back some NHL like guys like you'd probably have to send back like a Lowry or like a Middlestat or someone who's a little more like shit, man. Like I don't know, maybe you ditch like Yoki or someone in that. Like here, like
that'd be huge.
Here's Yoki a pick and like Lowry for your back end or something, you know? Because like that's another right shot D-man you can replace.
Yeah, and then like he shouldn't be his trade package should not be that high because he's done hardly anything. It's just his age and his potential and his draft analysis and all of that. But I think that he could be a great pick for the Bruins. And I mean, we've seen it before with the Bruins on a 1-for-1 trade where we got Pavel Zacha and we gave up Eric Holla. So let's just do it again. Round 2.
And I wouldn't be opposed to that.
No, not whatsoever. So that's kind of where I'm looking. Mason McTavish is interesting, but at the same time, he's not going to be your first overall. I'm sorry, he's not going to be your first center. He's not. So it's like, do you have him and Zacha, who are fairly comparable players, at the same spot? And he's going to cost a pretty hefty trade package, and he's already got a pretty hefty cap hit. So then that pretty much pushes Zacha out the door. But at the same time, he's young. He's pretty significantly younger than Zacha is. So then you get into that conversation too. So my head's kind of spinning with all of it, but I really haven't wavered from the Robertson, Kyrou, Robert Thomas, that realm of trade packages that I think the Bruins should be exploring.
I agree. I'm just so fixated on the Blues and what's going on there and those guys. And now like the Ducks, I think like we focus our energy there. And like obviously if Nemec's name's out there, you have to focus on that too.
Yeah, agreed. Completely agree. And then I guess transitioning to a little bit of like World Juniors, pretty much of it's been a snooze fest from my end. I haven't watched much of any games. I've just been looking at the box scores. Team USA kind of stinks. Alex Steves stepping up and playing great is awesome. I don't really know where he fits heading into next year, which is a little scary. I think the scarier part though is Hagens. He's been scratched a couple of times.
I agree. He's been Oddly quiet, which is not great.
Yeah, and maybe he's just not being paired up with the right players in that, but at the same time, I would expect him to jump in there and be a big time player for Team USA. I don't know. I guess it's just a ton of change. Like he's played for BC, the Providence Bruins, the Bruins, and now Team USA all in 1 year. So just a ton of change. I almost just wish he just took the rest of the season off and just focused on getting ready for next year and not continue to play because of all the change and all the hockey he's played. But we're here, and like I just hope his confidence hasn't dipped at all, and that his camp still feels very confident with the Bruins heading into next year. Well, our baby correspondent Isla needs a nap, and we wanted to keep these short anyways, 30, 45 minutes. Just get a pulse on what's going on with Bruins and what we're hearing in the market right now, but a ton of more content producing on social media about what we're hearing for trades and draft picks coming up. A ton of fun content coming up too. We're going to be doing a day on the boat where Captain David Almeida will be taking us out and hopefully collecting some tuna. Maybe we'll see.
Striped bass.
Striped bass, okay. And a fun partnership announcement coming too when our co-host Michael Doyle returns from Africa. So a ton more to come. Excited to continue this journey and do all the things. Follow us on social media, like it, comment, and would love to connect with more people. See you guys.
Peace.